The American people ultimately, I believe, are angry because they are looking at this great country, a country which many of our veterans fought and died for. And what they are seeing is that this nation is losing its middle class, is losing its democratic values, and in fact is moving toward an oligarchic form of government where a handful of billionaires control the economic and political life of this nation. Madam President, in the United States today, we have the most unequal distribution of wealth and income since the 1920s. Now, you're not going to see what I'm talking about now. You're not going to see it on Fox. You're not going to see it on NBC or CBS. But it's important that we discuss this issue because it is one of the most important issues facing America. Madam President, today, the wealthiest 400 individuals in America own more wealth than the bottom half of America, 150 million people. 400 and 150 million. Today, and this is really quite amazing, the 6 heirs to the Walmart fortune, the Walmart company, of course, started by Sam Walton, his children, one family, now own more wealth than do the bottom 30% of the American people. One family owns more wealth than the bottom 30%, 90 million Americans. Today, the top 1% own 40% of all of the wealth in America. Top 1% own 40% of all the wealth in America. Madam President, what do we think the bottom 60% of the American people own? I ask this question a lot around Vermont. Have a lot of meetings. Say, what top 1% owns 40%? Okay. People say, yeah, we understand. That's not good. We understand that. What are the bottom 60%? People say, well, maybe they own 15%. Maybe they own 20%. Well, the answer is they own less than 2%. Less than 2%. So you got the bottom 60% of the American people owning less than 2% of the wealth. Top 1% own 40% of the wealth. And here's another astounding fact. And again, I know we don't see this too much in the media. Many of my colleagues don't talk about it too often. But incredibly, the bottom 40% of the American people own 0.3% of the wealth of this country. And I know we have some of my colleagues coming up here and saying, look, not everybody in America is paying taxes. You got millions of people that are not paying any taxes. No kidding. They don't have any money because all of the money is on the top. Madam President, according to a new study from the Federal Reserve, median net worth for middle-class families dropped by nearly 40% from 2007 to 2010, primarily because of the plummeting value of homes. That is the equivalent of wiping out 18 years of savings for the average middle-class family. Now, I've talked a moment about distribution of wealth. That's what you accumulate in your lifetime. Let me say a word about income, which is what we earn in a year. The last study that was done on income distribution was done recently, and this is what it told us, and this is really, literally quite hard to believe. The last study on income distribution showed us that between the years 2009 and 2010, 93% of all new income created in the previous year went to the top 1%. 93% of all of the new income created between 2009 and 2010, last information we had, went to the top 1%, while the bottom 99% had the privilege of enjoying the remaining 7%. In other words, the wealthiest people in this country are becoming phenomenally wealthier, middle class is disappearing, and poverty is increasing.